Welcome back to the channel, folks. Today we're going to look at the update 1.26, the new track and the new car, one of the new cars. Probably the most well received car of the update since Gran Tourismo 7 got released. The track's Road Atlanta, and the car is the Sierra Cosworth RS 587. The race we're looking at today is the race turbo sports cars with a PP of 700. This is my tune, racing soft tyres, fully customizable suspension, fully customizable differential, default both not changed. Then we have the downforce. We've got the front and rear aero from the tuning shop. Then we've got the typical concrete bag in the boot. So we've got 80 kilograms of ballast set to all the way backwards, and then we've got virtually every add-on that's a disposable part. So high RPM turbo, anti-lag, strong intercooler. All the rest of the parts are racing or carbon if available on the brakes. And then we've got racing clutch, weight reductions 1, 2 and 3, and the body rigidity. You can freeze those frames to check that out. We haven't adjusted the gear length, but this is rear wheel drive car. It is OP, it's overpowered for what it is. That's why I've put the weight in the back, and it's still quite a spinner. We had about 30 pp to spare, but like I say, we've got the front lip and the rear lip on. And let's talk about the track. It's not a new track to me. I've raced it in a few games before. Traction control 1, default ABS, everything else off. And we're going to have an overlay of the external view of the car because it's a beaut. It's something my dad had when I grew up. Not the RS, but the Sierra, the jelly mold shape, which this is. And with this race, you have to be on it. It's not a particularly big challenge, but the car, being a bit twitchy, as you'll see here, it just kicks out. But it's quite easy to catch, just a lift off, a bit of anti-steer, steer into it, and then you've got to learn the track. And I'm not displaying a great amount of skill at that point, but we'll just overlook that for now. I've got a few more of those little chaoses to overcome. But the car is quick. And we like to use the outside of this corner, but we'll talk about the lap as we get round. Let's just talk about Road Atlanta. So, quite a historic circuit in the US, not to be confused with Road America. I've seen that mentioned a few times. This is Road Atlanta. It is one of the more open sports courses, sports car courses, and there's also another race here, which is the GR1 race. I've yet to try that one, but we'll get that done. The only reason I'm showing you this race really is this gives us the chance to do a little bit of an expose on both the track and the new car. This is the turbo race, so it's up against every other fairly efficient, fairly powerful turbo car in the sports car, sort of non-racy car scene actually, not in the GR3s or 4s, they're pretty much road sports cars. This circuit has a start finish line really close to that bend, so what you'll notice is the AI do tend to slow down quite a bit just before that, and they don't make the most of that apex just before the line. There are some blind corners you can see coming over the top. You have to get your line right, but if you just follow the race tread, the worn-in rubber, which I don't there, I completely blow that. Look at that. So with that, let's just talk about that 80 kilograms of ballast in the boot of the car. Something I used to do way back when. Kind of borrowed my brother's car once and found it was quite slippy in the back end, so put a bag of sand in the back. I think the boosted boys were putting bags in the sand to hold the front down of the MR2. But with that, this car needs that element of weight in the rear, and it doesn't really hamper it. You can see here it's up against another Sierra, and it's pretty much got it on the straight. There's plenty of room in the PP for this car. for you to try and calm that back end down. Personally, I'm not a massive fan of rear wheel drive cars. I think they're a little bit twitchy in the game, but that'll get refined as they get the physics right, I think. And even though I've got one traction control on, this car does tend to be a little bit tweaky. Get the corner right, get the entry speed, you can sort it out. So here we go then, turn one, it's going to be a third gear. We're going to get into the corner, use as much of the curb as you can. We're going to run around the outside past the Impreza of Mr. Hizal into this corner. Just need to brake down, use as much curb as you can there. Up against the BMW next. We're going to just cut this corner, keeping two wheels on the tarmac. Give them a little bit of an unfriendly nudge, a bit rude. Again, make use of the curbs where you can, and we're going to run out wide here, and I don't think you'll get away with that on the circuit experience. We're going to do those next, and as you can see, we're on lap 3 and up to 4th. 290 rights coming up now, bottom end of the circuit, and you need to really make sure you get into this corner, really attack it, and I don't, just to make sure you get maximum speed down the straight. So we've got just over 2 laps now to catch 3rd, 2nd and 1st. Mr. Fraga, Mr. Yamanaka and Mr. Ham at the top, Mr. Serrano from Spain. It's he's a new driver to the cause with this latest update. Don't see much of him in the previous missions, previous games as AI. There's quite a few new names there, Mr. Jones, Mr. Heck. Don't see those very often. So here we go, this final corner here really is a satisfaction when you get your foot down at the right point. So up to Mr. Fraga for turn 1 again, 3rd gear, get it changed down. We can run out wide because they'll take the tighter line, but with that tighter line they get a better entry into the corner. We really run that tight. We don't clip that as much as we actually could, but we managed to make it worthwhile. We actually get a twitch there which puts us into the right racing line, which isn't so bad. We keep the power down. Will we go outside these two guys? Yes, I think we will. We'll use the width. There it is. And there's a Sierra. So that's the back end view. He's not running the lower rear bumper splitter that we are. I don't actually like the bumper the way it looks. And we've also got a side exit exhaust, which he has as well. And there we go. We do better at that second apex. But let's see. We did alright against the white Sierra. How do we go against the silver Sierra of Mr. Serrano? He's got more juice than we have. Not particularly very good, but we'll get him under braking. So we didn't talk about this last time. As you come over the crest of the hill, the track's in shadow, you'll see a black line across the track just there. That's your braking point. Brake down, 2nd gear apex, use all of it. Use the apex here, still 2nd gear. You can use all the area to the left hand side if you want. We're going to just check out this overtaking manoeuvre here. We don't actually touch him, we just dive onto the curb and away we go. Again, probably won't get away with that in the circuit experience test, but it's there to be done in this race. So we've just got the 1 lap to do, lap 5. Current fastest lap, 1:28.455, and we've been improving lap times as we go. So we're just learning the track and getting better. What do we think of the track? I think it's going to be a cracker for tournament races. It will result in, I think, additional calamity for your online races. With the blind corners, it's going to be a wrecker's fest. It really is. Straight lining them, it'll just be rude. People bombing the apex. You know, you're driving against the AI. They leave plenty of room. You can bomb the AI with no consequence. But I think that's where people are online at the minute. As you know, chaps, I avoid that like the plague at the moment, hoping that PD will just deal with those issues and resolve it. There may be a time that comes where I might choose to try and achieve the driver A rating, A plus maybe. I've got a long way to go. I am B, so we'll get there. But here we are, coming to the conclusion of the race. Cut the 2 apexes, try and use all the width, which we do. And then we're going to target a good flying finish, trying to take the optimal line with no interference with any other car. And there we have it, an easy win. I say easy, we made hard work of it at the start by a minute clattery, but there it is. And overall, yeah, love the track. I think it's a great one. I think it's got its place in Gran Turismo. And the car itself, the setups will get better. I apologise if you don't like it. There are other ones out there. Feel free to use theirs if you don't like mine. But my setup will get you the win, etc. And there it is, 63k into the bank. As you can see, helps me with my credit build. And there we are, just 3 seconds clear of second place. And with that, folks, just like to give you a massive thumbs up and say thanks for the likes and subscribes. You're helping the channel, and if you want to, please do so. Thank you.